Good evening, all of you. So today we will see about the capillary electrophoresis. So in last lecture we discussed about the electrophoresis technique, means what is actually this electrophoresis, like that. So in simple words, there is a differential movement, or we can say migration of ions by attraction or repulsion in an electric field. Means electrophoresis means which is something related to the charge, right? Means like if you have a positively charged molecules or negatively charged molecules. So in this technique, basically this electrophoresis technique is a separation techniques, right? So on the basis of that we can separate the molecules, or we can say ions. So there is a either attraction, means if you have a positively charged molecules, or we have a negatively charged beads, we can say. So there is a attraction which is formed in between positive and negative charge. So on the basis of that, there is a separation can be occur. So in a simple words, we can say the migration of charged particles or molecules under the influence of electric field. Okay, so here you can see the general instrumentation of this electrophoresis technique, which has like capillary inlet, outlet, sample zone, detector, data, then high voltage power. So in this technique we need a electric field, right? So what is the purpose of this, means why we carried out this electrophoresis techniques? Like for determination of molecular weight of a protein and DNA samples, or DNA sequence, sorry, we can use electrophoresis technique. Then to determine the number, amount and mobility of components in a given sample, or to separate them, for that also we can use electrophoresis. Okay? And another purpose is to obtain information about the electrical double layers which are surrounding the particles. So this is the purpose why we carried out this electrophoresis technique. Okay? So basically this electrophoresis, it has two major types: zone electrophoresis and moving boundary electrophoresis, right? So we have finished with gel electrophoresis. Like in your syllabus, the next type of electrophoresis technique is a capillary electrophoresis, which is a type of moving boundary electrophoresis. Okay, so we'll see about it in more detail. So what is the definition of this capillary electrophoresis? Okay, so you can define it like the kind of a separation which are facilitated by the use of high voltages, okay, which may generate electroosmotic and electrophoretic flow of buffer solution and ionic species, respectively, within the capillary. Okay, that means in a capillary, means we are using a capillary for this type of a electrophoresis technique. That's why they named it as a capillary electrophoresis. And in this technique we are using a high voltages, and if we are using high voltages, it may generate some like electroosmotic flow and electrophoretic flow. We'll see about it later, but this is the definition of capillary electrophoresis, which is a relatively new and very versatile technique, right? And this technique is also called as a high performance capillary electrophoresis, which is generally used for separation and analysis of variety of molecules, like from small inorganic ions to the huge biopolymers. Okay, so compared to the high performance liquid chromatography and gas chromatography, this capillary electrophoresis, it offers several advantages. Okay, like it will give us highly efficient and fast separation. This technique is relatively inexpensive and long lasting capillary columns in we are using in this type of a techniques, and also small sample size requirement and low reagent consumption. So that's why it is very like you can say versatile technique, or very important technique. Okay, so it this technique, it can be used for analysis of polar ionic, polar non-ionic and non-polar non-ionic compounds also. Okay, and this capillary electrophoresis, it's means it's a separation, whatever separation we'll get by this technique, it is very efficient, or this technique is sensitive to terms of mass and concentration also. And this highly sophisticated, user friendly and very effective capillary electrophoresis has become commercially available at very affordable cost also. That's why this technique is very useful. Okay, now the principle of this technique. Okay, so capillary electrophoresis, which is an analytical technique generally used to separate the ions based on their electrophoretic mobility, and they uses a higher voltage also, right? So this electrophoretic mobility is dependent upon the charge of the molecule, means which type of a charge we are going to separate it on the basis, means that electrophoretic mobility is depend on that charge, okay? And also viscosity and the atoms radius, right? The rate at which the particle moves is directly proportional to the applied electric field. That means the greater field strength, the faster will be mobility, and vice versa, okay? That you need to remember. When a sample is injected into that capillary tube and an electric field is applied across that capillary tube, sample components migrates, and as a result of two types of action like electrophoretic mobility and electroosmotic mobility, okay, which we are already I have said it, right? So what is this electrophoretic mobility and electro osmotic mobility? We'll see about it. uh, okay, before that, this neutral spaces, which are means in this case, if you have a positive or negative charge, like on the basis of that we can separate. But if we have a neutral charge spaces, so they won't get affected, only ions move with the electric field, okay? If two ions are the same size and one with a greater charge, and then it will move the fastest, because here charge is matter, right? So for ions of the same charge, the smaller particles has less friction and overall faster migration rate, okay? So this technique is used most predominantly because it gives faster results, and also it provides high resolution separation. So that's why this technique is very useful technique, because there is a large range of detection methods are available. That's why I told you that this technique is very versatile technique, right? So now we'll go for a electrophoretic mobility or electrophoretic flow, okay? So generally it is the process in which sample ions they move under the influence of an applied voltage, right? So the ion they undergoes a force that is equals to the sample of electrophoretic mobility and the electric field strength, right? So this electrophoretic mobility is the solute's response, right, to the applied electric field. Like suppose we have a cations, so the cations they move toward the negatively charged cathode, right? Because cations got charges that they have a positive charge, so they move toward the negatively charged cathode, right? And anions they move toward the positively charged anodes. And neutral spaces, as I told you, they won't get affected, so that spaces they remain stationary, right? Then the other contribution to the solid migration, like that is the electroosmotic flow, right? So the osmosis under the influence of an electric field. So you have seen here the formula for that, where that like mu ep is electrophoretic mobility, ep is for electrophoretic mobility, then q is for charge on ions, eta is viscosity, r is for radius, e is for electric field strength, and v is for velocity, right? Then the next, that is a electroosmotic flow. So this flow which occurs when the buffer moves through the capillary in response to the applied electric field, right? So this osmosis under the influence of an electric field. The speed of this electroosmotic flow, it can be adjusted by changing the pH of that buffer, because याच्यामध्ये जो काही रिस्पॉन्स येणार आहे बफरकडून आफ्टर अप्लाइंग दॅट इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड, दॅट विल बी काउंटेड, राईट? So the bulk movement of the solute is caused by electroosmotic flow, which is usually sufficient to sweep all positive, neutral and negative spaces towards the same end, okay? Or in a more detail we can say, under the normal conditions the buffer moves towards the cathode, means sweeping most solutes including the anions and neutral spaces towards the negatively charged cathode also, okay? Now the instrumentation of this technique, like which parts are very important, like which parts they are included in this type of a technique, that we'll see. Like the if we are performing this capillary electrophoresis, then we need some solutions, we can say, for performing whole of this practical or whole this technique. Like we need a buffer solution. So in that we can take a sodium dihydrogenase phosphate, like phosphate buffer we can use. um, and then we need a high voltage power supply, because if we are applying high voltage it will give us faster result, right? Then we need a sample which we want to separate. So sample introduction system we need, like we can use an injection. By that we can inject that sample by applying pressure or vacuum, right? Then we need a capillary tube with which has like special characteristics, like it should have a diameter of 10 to 100 millimeter and 20 to 100 centimeter lengths. Then we need a detector, then output device, right? So these are the some instrument includes temperature control device also to ensure the reproducible results. So this is because the separation of the sample is depends on the electrophoretic mobility and the viscosity of the solution. It decreases the column temperature rises. So that's why we need, I mean, some instruments they need a temperature control device. Okay. So as I told you ki we need a injection to inject that sample, right? So by means that hydrodynamic injection means by applying pressure or by applying vacuum and by gravitation you can inject that sample, right? So that is a sample injection. Then electrokinetic injection you can also use by using electric supply, right? So these two types of injection you can use for injecting that sample into the capillary. Okay. Then we need a detectors. So detectors similar to the like we have seen in a HPLC, right? So we can use that detectors also for capillary electrophoresis. Means in order to gain useful information from the separation technique, it is necessary to detect and measure the analysis. So detection may be qualitative and or quantitative also. So majority of instruments they have a UC detectors available. Alternative detectors modes include commercially available infrared fluorescence, laser induced fluorescence, conductivity and indirect detection also. And the mass spectrometer is frequently used to give us structural information on the result peak. So these detectors you can use like like in case of a capillary electrophoresis most often based on the UV visible absorption which is carried out in a capillary. So in order to avoid any possible post separation added volumes, okay, so this can cause some unacceptable band splitting. So detector is very important. So you can see here the instrumentation of this capillary electrophoresis. You can see there is a capillary which is like this capillary and the, means also which is on a compartment where injection and detection can takes place, right? So ideally capillary means whatever or any capillary if you are using it, ideally it should be chemically or physically resistant, right? Then it should be means it does not absorb solutes, then transparent to UV visible radiation with a high thermal conductivity, and it should have a low cost. Okay, so that type of a capillaries we can use. Like the most common coatings are polyacrylamide, cellulose, polyvinyl alcohol, amino acids, amines. They are using like means the capillary can also filled with these gels. Okay, so you can see a power supply, then computer detector, capillary is there, sample vials, outlet vial, inlet vial. You can see there, right? So that is the general instrumentation part of this capillary electrophoresis technique, right? Now there are some most common capillary electrophoresis separation techniques. Okay, like it has four modes: capillary zone electrophoresis, capillary gel electrophoresis, then capillary isoelectric focusing, and last one that is a capillary isostachophoresis. We'll see about it in a short manner. So first one, that is a capillary zone electrophoresis. Now what is actually this capillary zone electrophoresis? Means by name you can understand whatever result will obtain, will obtain, that will be in the form of a zone, right? So that's why they named it as a capillary zone electrophoresis, which is also known as a free solution capillary electrophoresis, which is very quickly easy and the most commonly used mode of capillary electrophoresis, right? So this capillary zone electrophoresis, analytes moves in the electroosmotic flow but separate into the bands because of the difference in their electrophoretic mobility. That's why they named it like zone, right? Because whatever result we have obtained, that is in the form of a bands. So differences in mu, which make each analyte's overall migration velocity slightly different, and difference in migration, so velocity is equals to the separation, and they are roughly a function of analyte charge and frictional and size differences. What it means the separation technique is based in the difference in electrophoretic mobility. Means if you are performing this type of a electrophoresis, there is a separation which is based on the difference in electrophoretic mobility, okay, which is directed proportional to the charge on the molecule, right? Because in case of electrophoresis we are separating the molecules on the basis of their charge, so that is directly proportional to the charge of that molecule and irreversely proportional to the viscosity of that solvent and the radius of that atom, okay. And usually the end of this capillary contain the sample is in the, you can see in the figure, uh, containing that sample is the anode, and the solute migrates towards the cathode at a velocity determined by their electrophoretic mobility and electroosmotic flow, okay. And in the capillary zone electrophoresis, in addition to the solute, the buffer solution usually also moves through the capillary under the influence of an electric field, okay. This type of a mode of electrophoresis or capillary electrophoresis, it provides effective separation of charged species, including inorganic anions and cations, organic acids and amines, and large biomolecules like your protein, right, which is a large biomolecule. That is about the capillary zone electrophoresis. Now we'll move to the capillary gel electrophoresis. So this, in case of a capillary gel electrophoresis, we are using gel, right? So that capillary is filled with the polymeric gel, like you can use cross-linked polyacrylamide, then agarose you can use, or solution of linear polymers, right? So while the gel is a porous, so solute migrates through the gel with the velocity determined both by its electrophoretic mobility and by its size, okay. So the it is an adaptation of traditional gel electrophoresis in the or into the capillary. So it uses separation based on the difference in solute size as a particle migrate through the gel, okay. So the ability to effect a separation using a size is helpful when the solutes have a similar electrophoretic mobility. Like for example, fragments of DNA, okay. Fragments like they have a different size or they have a varying size length, have a similar charge to size ratio, they making their separation by this capillary zone electrophoresis very difficult, because the DNA fragments, they are of different size, so they can be separated by the capillary gel electrophoresis, right. So the capillary which is used in this type of a mode is usually treated to eliminate the electroosmotic flow. By that you can prevent the gel's extrusion from that capillary tube, right. The sample which are injected in electrokinetically, because that gel means which are using in this type of a mode, that provides too much resistance for a hydrodynamic sampling, right. So the primary application of this capillary gel electrophoresis is the separation of large molecules. Means you can separate the proteins by using this electrophoresis technique, including you can also separate DNA fragments, oligonucleotides, right. And the main advantage of this technique is over a slab gel electrophoresis, there are wider range of gel matrix and composition. So you can use on means you can online detect it, then improved quantification and automation. That's why this technique is very advantageous, okay, and very helpful. So you can see there is a at the middle you can see there is a gel, and both of that beaker or anything means like vessels, it contains buffer, and this is the general instrumentation of capillary gel electrophoresis. Then the next mode, that is a capillary isoelectric focusing, or you can call it as a CIEF, right? So which is used to separate a biological molecules, like you can separate proteins which based on the difference between that isoelectric points. Like we have no the proteins, they have a isoelectric point, right? So on the basis of that you can separate the proteins in this type of a capillary electrophoresis, okay. And this technique is performed by filling the capillary with the mixture of ampholytes and the sample, okay, and then forming a pH gradient. So by applying a electric field across the capillary with like in diagram you can see there, by applying, if you are applying the electric field across that capillary which has a basic solution at the cathode and acidic solution at the anode, that ampholytes means they have a both charge, right? So their solutes migrate until they reach a region where their overall charge is neutral. Like you have no and means neutral charge किंवा they don't have any net charge, so that is isoelectric point, right? So त्या तोपर्यंत काय होणार आहे, ते मायग्रेट होणार आहे. That ampholyte and solute zones remain extremely narrow because of the diffusion. So in this type means is this technique is commonly used to separate peptides and proteins, and the molecules, like we have seen in proteins, means protein, they are building blocks of amino acid, like so amino acids, they have a zwitterionic form, right? Means at that point, or at that form they have a no net positive or negative charge, right? Both contain means which is in a form of a charge compound, we can say zwitterionic compound. So each molecule has a specific isoelectric point, right? Means at that point the molecule it become neutral. So on the basis of that you can separate the molecules in case of capillary isoelectric focusing, okay. And the next mode, that is a capillary isostachophoresis. So it is a focusing technique which is based on the migration of the sample components between that loading and terminating electrolytes. That is a capillary isostachophoresis. Now this technique has some applications, like in a genetic analysis, this technique is used. Then analysis of pharmaceuticals, like for drug analysis you can use capillary electrophoresis. Then pharmaceuticals with chiral centers which are called as enantiomers. Then counter analysis in drug discovery, and for protein characterization you can use capillary electrophoresis, and it has had a extensive application in variety of scientific domains, like chemistry, biochemistry, pharmacology, toxicology, forensic biology. It has a applications and other biological compounds as also, okay. So that is the like they have a application. Now the next point, that is the advantages of this technique. So it offers new selectivity and alternative to HPLC, means this is the means you can use capillary electrophoresis instead of high performance liquid chromatography, which, so that is an alternative, that is the big advantage. Then easy and predictable selectivity, high separation efficiency, small sample is required for electrophoresis technique, fast separation you will get, it can be automated and easily coupled with the mass spectrometer, okay, MS. But it has disadvantage also, ki it cannot do preparative scale separation, and low concentrations and large volume is difficult. Means if you if you want to separate the molecules which has lower concentration, so that can be difficult for this technique. So that is a disadvantage of this capillary electrophoresis. Okay, thank you.